Howdy, America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, American. Another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Welcome everybody to our daily gun show. Come to live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for a while, but maybe not tonight. So I had some people ask if they could join the show tonight, and nobody's showing up. But what are you gonna do? We'll see if anybody shows up. We'll go live for a while here. I've got a cricket or something that's about to drive me nuts, so I'm not having a great night. It's been driving me nuts all night. I don't know if you can hear it on the mic or not. Let's see. It says we got 4 people watching. I guess that's Hill Climb, that's WB, and that's Travis. Thanks for showing up. If you guys have topics, that's cool. Otherwise, it'll end up being a short show. I do not like just doing the show by myself, so that won't happen. Let's see what happens here, though. So we've got some orders over on the Gear website store. Really appreciate that. It is Free Patch Friday, and we send out free stuff on Saturdays. Let's take a look here. I don't know if anybody is out there. You're welcome to claim a free patch if you did order today. No, I didn't mention that or anything, but it's always an option if you're here. See that a couple of people are Patreon people who bought stuff today, and that's what keeps us going. So whenever 2012, probably whenever YouTube started to get crazy. I guess it was 2013. It was actually 2012 that I made the decision, though. But I was asked to join a network, and there are YouTube networks where channels join and they collaborate. They work together and they succeed, and it's worked for people. It has definitely worked. Back then, it was a new thing, and it was something that the gamers had done. But a couple of the managers of the gaming channels came over to the gun channels, especially the gun channels that dealt with video games. And we talked them into coming over to join these networks. And I unfortunately went ahead with that and did it. And that ruined my YouTube career there in 2012. But it didn't ruin gun websites. In fact, it made it stronger. So that's where we're at. We came out of all of that. And, look for things to do that are interesting and try to have people join in and be part of it. But tonight looks like it's just going to be the 4 of us. So, like I said, we'll wait for a little while, see if anybody gets the alert, gets my emails and joins in. Otherwise, been working on some things here, and I'll continue to work on them. But I want to do the show when we can. I hate talking, so I'm just going to go mute, I guess. What am I going to do here? Can you hear this cricket? So if I can't play music or something to get that cricket noise out of here, the show will go quick. So went on StreamYard today. I'm going to quit StreamYard here pretty soon. They gave me a letter telling me that I'm using up too much of their bandwidth, and then they offered me a massive discount, which is interesting. At least they offered it, but it's not really massive discount. It's $60 discount if I buy a year's worth of their service, and there's free offers, so there's free options, and I already paid for XSplit, so eventually I'll be using XSplit here. Doesn't really matter. Nobody even shows up for the show anymore. I go live, but it's just like Pants and Travis, a couple others that show up. So again, I'm sick of saying it. I'll quit saying it. I guess we'll play a podcast for a while from somebody else while I get some work done. We'll see if anybody shows up. Got 9 people watching the shit show fail, I guess. But this podcast can we listen to? I listened to John Crump earlier with Pro Gun Woman, which is a new, I think I've heard of him, but I have never heard her speak before. Yankee might still be live doing his car chat where he's telling you about his car he's buying. Clover Tech seemed to have some kind of show today, 12 hours ago. And Liberty Doll had Guns and Gadgets on. I only listened to a part of that. Patriot posted his thing with the furniture. He's going to start working on that. It sounds like he's going to sand it all down. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if I can't have a conversation, I'm going to end this. This is driving me nuts. Can you hear those crickets? I'm not even telling me if you hear those crickets or not. So I don't even know. I guess there's 9 people out there, but this is not going to be a long show, I guess. Trying to find a podcast here. I'm going to walk in the other room and try to kick the shit out of a cricket. Spray something around. Spray soap around, and then they get soap on them, and it kills their ability to be waterproof. Something like that. What do I want to listen to? I don't want to listen to this guy. I definitely don't want to listen to this guy. Firearms policy, posting all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Budget always quirks me on Friday. I guess that's his new thing. But I guess firearms policy doesn't know that there's a schedule button. They think they can just drop a shit ton of videos on the internet and that's going to work. As bad as Plate Society. Yeah, see, that cricket's killing me. I think it's actually a cockroach too. That's what's even more annoying. I guess it could be a cricket. The crickets around here are tiny though. The cockroaches are huge, so I think it's a cockroach. Anyhow, I'm trying to find a podcast that ain't shitty. And someone who lets me listen to their podcast. Does Riding Shotgun with Charlie not do podcasts anymore? Riding Shotgun. Riding Shotgun. That's an actual channel by itself. Okay. Charlie, how about that? 110 videos. His last one was Pinkus a week ago. I ain't listening to that. So let's listen to Laura Smith. And I'm going to go try to kill a cricket and see if anybody shows up. This is Riding Shotgun with Charlie, a podcast
Riding shotgun refers to the practice of sitting next to the driver in a moving vehicle. The term riding shotgun came around after the time of the stagecoach, when somebody used to sit next to the driver holding a shotgun in case they ran into bandits. My name is Charlie Cook, and I drive a lot. I like to talk to people while I'm driving, so I interview people in my car while I'm driving. Welcome to Riding Shotgun with Charlie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Today I have with me, do I have to use your last name?
No.
All right, today I have with me Laura Smith from the Liberal Gun Club. Laura, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited for this. I have...
Yeah.
They have expressly come out to the...
I haven't had an hour.
Right.
Right.
All right, so we are in...
Oh, I guess we got Alan A. joining us tonight.
Yep, decided to swing by. What's going on?
What's your deal? You go to bed at like 8 o'clock now?
Yeah, kinda. Well, no, I'm usually just like working at night, so.
That means partying. I see all these pictures of like Lamborghinis and whatnot.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I've been doing some stuff, so. But I've been working a lot.
All right, well, I just kicked you to the curb on the Daily Gun Show's page there to get ready for the people that are going to shop this year for the Daily Gun Show. But you don't need to worry about that because you got your own booth. Tell us about that. What's going on? How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I have everything like my swag and stuff, ready. So yeah, kind of nervous about it, but
you know someplace where to get patches? I've been thinking about getting patches.
yeah, actually. So crazy enough, we actually started making patches. So yeah, not only will I have my own special SHOT Show patch, which is kind of crazy because I don't even have that cool of like a normal patch. But we're actually making a ton of patches that'll be at SHOT Show too. So I'll just be like surrounded.
But I know from talking to you in other years that so you're gonna have like you're gonna have a booth there. So does that help you? Because I was gonna say you're gonna need like some kind of cart or something to drag all these patches around.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna have a my booth is one day because it's that pop-up preview thing.
Mhm.
And
Wednesday.
yeah, it's Wednesday all
So their-
day.
So their stupid idea was to take what's that thing called, the supply showcase, and move it. Right? It's not even at SHOT Show anymore.
Yeah, I think that's in like a whole different,
It's like a
like
different
it's
hotel.
MGM or something.
Yeah. So now the day before is some other fucking thing that isn't even anything, just something. And then you're on just Wednesday, and then they close it down Thursday, or there's something else Thursday.
I don't think there's any more like special things, but yeah, my thing's just Wednesday and it's upstairs.
Yeah, see, it makes no sense. Well, I guess I'm assuming you're right. So SHOT Show is in a convention center, and SHOT Show is huge, so it takes the entire convention center and it spills out a little bit into every available room they have, and then the, what do you want to call it, like the stuff that you need, like a media room and just other rooms and offices and rooms where you'd have meetings or seminars and stuff. All of that stuff happens in the convention center, but like upstairs in these much smaller rooms than the main convention center. I mean, they're bigger rooms than most hotels will have in them, but in Vegas, it's not. They're small rooms compared to the giant areas. So SHOT Show takes up the whole thing in many of the small rooms, and then as you go up these elevators, I think it's 5 floors from the basement or the ground floor where the parking is, like you can come up and up and up, and SHOT Show doesn't ever use all of those, mainly because it's just, I don't know why, they just have never used all of those little rooms. They're not big enough to do SHOT Show in, and they're too big to do little stuff, like independent people really don't take them.
Well, there's a bunch of rooms that they sent me an email about reserving rooms for meetings, and I guess they have a whole bunch of them.
Oh, okay. Well, that I don't know about, because those are obviously only seen by people who are actually having meetings, and that would be something where you'd need like a big room. Like you can't just go meet somebody in an office or something. You need like a meeting room, like or should I say, like a seminar. What's the word? Like an auditorium type of room. But anyway, so even though SHOT Show doesn't use all these things, that's what I'm getting at. It's like it's not like the space is limited. They're not dealing with like there's not enough space and not enough time, and they can only give you the room for one day because that's all they can afford. They just close that. They only give you one day because they only feel like giving you one day. And I think it has more to do with the people downstairs being butthurt that you're up there getting a cheaper, like whatever appearance at SHOT Show or something. Maybe not you, but everybody in that room.
Yeah, I mean, it's so I originally signed up for like the main show, and they sent me an email saying like, if you do this one day thing, next year you have an automatic spot in the show, and we'll promote like the shit out of people going upstairs on Wednesday.
Oh, I didn't know that they give you also another, or like a slot to the bigger. You got a slot to the same room next year, or to the big rooms next year?
To the big room. Like, so if they told me if I took the pop-up preview, because I was on the wait list, that next year, so 2021, I automatically have a spot in the big show.
You were on the wait list for the big room.
Yeah.
The big show, at least. You're not going to be in the big room, probably.
No, for the big show. But yeah.
That's not true. You don't know where you're going to be. If you get invited to the big show, then you need to, you don't know. You might randomly get stuck upstairs next to Glock. You never know.
Yeah, I think you just, for pop-up preview, they did it by how fast you paid, which was like how good of a spot you got, I guess. So I don't know if the big show's the same or not, but.
So you didn't fart around. You got a good spot. So you basically got the offer and you took it right away. You didn't wait around like.
Oh yeah, when they were like, "Hey, you can apply," I applied like the same. I don't know, within like 20 minutes of the email, and then as soon as they approved me, I was like, "Yep, here's your ridiculous chunk of money." So I paid it in full up front because I hoped that would help me get a good spot. I guess I got a pretty good spot.
Looks like it, but you never know. And you know. And then you don't know who's around you, or you do know who's around you, like who the other.
Now I know because they have the. Well, I mean, I don't know offhand, but they have the whole floor plan up, or however many people they've added in, and the pop-up preview. Last time I looked, it had filled up pretty good.
So, do you know anybody up there? Like anybody up there that you've worked with or you've done stuff for?
In the pop-up preview, no, but in the big show, yeah, there's a ton.
Well, yeah. All right, well, that's cool. So that's our chatting offline there. Like I say, I was getting new people in for your slot, basically what you did last year. So that's cool. So I'm glad everything worked out like that, and looking forward to what we can able to do there. So, well, we won't get in unless you want to talk about your stuff. Anything else going on? What's been happening on your radar?
Just keeping busy, getting work done. SHOT Show's like my busiest time of year, I guess. So it's crazy now, but I have a bunch of patches coming out, like probably 30 designs in the wings that are in processes of being made.
I don't understand. You're going to make 30 designs that are all just different types of wings?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Like Harry Potter style, like when those keys are flying, it'll be like that. But yeah, so I sent off 30 different designs. So it's going to be a surprise on what comes. That Dirty Harry patch, which I've never even seen that movie. I have no idea anything about it. But that patch was requested like 1 billion times.
Wait, which one? I was kidding. You're talking about a scroll or something else?
The Dirty Harry badge.
Which one?
That badge, the Dirty Harry badge.
Oh, I thought that was. I was like, wow, you're doing badges for San Francisco now.
Oh no, that's the.
Okay.
Yeah, that's specific. They don't use that style of badge anymore, which is why that's okay to be made. So, yeah, but I am doing badges for a lot of departments.
Yeah, that's why I kind of just when I saw that one, I just assumed that was yet another department you were doing a badge for or something. And then I thought you were maybe, I didn't read it because I didn't think you read that much on there, but I just looked at it and gave it a heart and kept moving. But I assumed that you were saying something about like that you can do different badge numbers if needed and that kind of thing like you do. So I didn't even, because I don't know enough about the movie to recognize the badge or the number, obviously. But that's his badge, I guess, from the movie.
Yeah, I think it's the guy.
All
I know is that everyone likes it because of the Model 29 in there. So the guy that has a Model 29, which I think is Dirty Harry, which is maybe Clint Eastwood, I guess that's his badge.
So then are you going to do a series of movie badges?
I'm going to do a couple movie badges. The most notable one and the one I'm the most excited for is Gotham City PD.
Oh, I didn't even think of like that kind of thing. I was going to say like you got Tombstone, you got Dodge City, you got I was thinking like old fashioned, or I guess historic badges or something.
Tombstone would be kind of cool.
You got, what's his name? Earp, right? Right, Earp was the sheriff. And then there was someplace in Missouri too.
But yeah, there's the camp series that's coming. So you saw the lantern where I neglected to make it glow.
I have a lantern.
Yeah, that was a fail, but should happen.
Good though. And then, so you said that's going to be, so that's more for like your scouts and people that are just maybe have a backpack or something and they wondered what to do with that Velcro. But people are like maybe aren't patch people also. Yeah,
and like a lot of I guess I kind of see more families kind of getting into the patch thing and maybe you want a patch you can stick on the headliner of your car and your 5-year-old sees it every day, so it's not a dick. So yeah, and people received them pretty well. And a lot of people were super excited about what's coming next, but I haven't put a bunch of info out yet, but yeah, I think it'll go over kind of cool. And I definitely am going to make things glow that should glow in the next batch. But yeah. Speaking of glow, did you see the contest I have going on?
Yeah, I already reposted.
So sweet. I was going to give you one anyway at SHOT Show, but I guess you could maybe get 2.
But yeah, the idea is that if you post that glowy picture, then and you get the word around, and you say thanks by giving away a patch to one of the limited edition patches to somebody that helps you get the word out there on Instagram.
Yep. And there's only 25 of those like big glowy ones. So I mean it's
The regular one, like the main one you did, you'll have more than 25 of.
yeah, I got like, 100 of them.
It's just that the glow ones are the limited.
Yeah, because I got the glow ones. You know how I did like the orange mag and like I was doing like little special runs? I did the glow ones as kind of like to give to like my friends and stuff. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to. Plus, I also wanted to see what it would look like to inverse because usually people do the accents glow, not the background. I wanted to see what that
And
looked
then
like.
and then it ends up looking like you see the lines, but this way you see the glow field or whatever, and the absence of light is what the message is or the design is.
Yeah, I like it a lot better. It like when it's glowing on your patch panel, it looks way cool. So that's my new like default for glow now. And I'm trying to get everyone who already has molds cut to start doing glow patches like that.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah. Go back and redo ones because they're cheaper, basically.
Yeah, because once the mold's already made, I mean that's like money you're not spending.
Everybody wants to do like a tan version or a green version of whatever their logo is, or if they've already done one, then it's a dark option, basically.
Yep. And super cool. So you know how I can make like one patch? So if you already made like 50 patches and you're like, hey, you know what? I would like a pink one. I could totally make one pink one. Yeah, so that's patch life.
I'm getting people asking me like recently to get patches for SHOT, and I'm like, well, you should have been watching people who do patches for a living, and when they were warning you to get these things made back in September, because it's just a busy time here. Now, I don't know, we don't know because we don't know, but the factories over there that are making everything are the same factories that make them for like Nike, and I know that a couple of the coats and pants and stuff that I've owned, they use the same material, that same PVC stuff, but they'll like say Dickies on it or something, or Wrangler or whatever, and they'll sew it on their pants. But they're buying a billion of those, like a zillion of those at a time, right? They probably have like a standing run to like give them 1,000 a week or something. And, we're coming up and saying, hey, you do these 50 or 100 of these. And and I'm just saying that because this time of year has got to be when manufacturers and stuff are getting ready for summer probably and putting in big orders that they can get, this year's profits or whatever that's called, like, getting stuff in on this calendar year.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It seems like, everything gets longer now. And then just shipping. I mean, this stuff isn't like they don't have transporters, they don't just blink their eyes and it's here. With all the shipping and stuff, you got, just more stuff in the works and more stuff in the pipe. So what takes a month normally might take 6 weeks or whatever, because it's not high priority. They're not sending this stuff fast. Anyway, so yeah, I'm trying to tell people, like, if you want to prepare for stuff, prepare. Don't just last minute run in and expect.
Oh yeah, like, so the rush orders and the last minute orders and the deadline was gone 3 weeks ago orders, those are my favorite because I make a lot of money on those. Because the fee goes up, because
because I can't even imagine people that think like, oh, I want to get it shipped fast. Like, good luck. You know how far the other side of the planet is from here?
Yeah, and it's,
you can pay for more, but this isn't like we're sending a couple of sheets of paper in an envelope. We're sending a whole bunch of rubber in a giant box. So
yeah, it's like serious. And plus like the manufacture and everything, and you know how long it takes from your experience with patches. So I can get patches wrapped in 10 days. It can happen, but it's not cheap. But it can happen. And so those last minute SHOT Show orders, I love them. I send out like a bajillion emails all year long, like, SHOT Show's coming. Don't wait till December. Don't wait till January. But those come in and I like them. But yeah, we're doing SHOT Show delivery this year. So I have a bunch of like international clients and stuff. So instead of shipping, I'm just driving them all out. So I have like a trunk full of patches.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing people don't think about it, but 3x3 patch isn't that big, but 100 of them is bigger than a laptop. It's thicker than a laptop, but about as big as a thick laptop or something. And then you get more than 100. Now you're doubling that or more. And then that's just one design of one color of one client. And if you've got clients, a lot of your clients, a lot of people will just buy, you know, a dark or a light or an orange and a yellow, you know, different colors or 2 different logos or something. So they're getting more than one sack of patches anyway. So yeah, I've seen what you carried around in past years.
Yep. This so far, I'm probably transporting about 10,000 patches so far.
Yeah, that's definitely it's literally a trunk of a car by itself. Like, except you got like a little truck now, a little van.
Well, I have an Explorer, but yeah, that's why I had to get that car so I can drive all these patches to Vegas.
All right, well, so I was talking about this before you jumped on. I don't know if anybody was around to listen to it. We've got 9 people watching because we're being corked by like 3 different people right now. But if anybody did order from the store and you'd like to claim, pick your patch, your free patch for Free Patch Friday, feel free. Watching the chat out there, but not really, nobody's really saying anything. I don't know if you can hear this cricket. This cricket's been driving me nuts. I turned off whatever I was listening to. Quit listening to Yankee. I don't know. I think I was just watching tutorials on After Effects. And
you doing After Effects now?
Well, now I got this new laptop, so yeah, I can dig into my Adobe more.
I have things you might be interested in for that.
Okay, I've got, oops, that's the wrong button. How do you do this? I guess you can go over here and you can do stuff like this. Look at this. This is an example of a banner. Click on a banner to show it on the screen. I forgot about this, or I didn't even know about it until somebody was telling me about it the other day. But I'm getting sick of the duck. They're telling me I'm using too much of their bandwidth and they're going to limit me. And they're just not interested in working with people that are going to use their system basically daily. And if I'm going to use somebody's system daily, I want them to appreciate what I'm doing, and I want to be in some sort of, have some sort of influence with them or a relationship with them or something.
Absolutely.
And if I don't, then I'm not paying them. So I'll use their free one here, but I'm going to quit using it. But because these little banner thingies gave me the idea, how do I unclick that shit? So with that other thing, I have XSplit that I actually already paid for. I need to do little intros basically between. Actually, I'm gonna get with you and see if you'll record a couple, but like the audio for them.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do little. There's scenes in XSplit. I think they're called scenes, but you can create transitions. You can create like segues, I guess, between like one segment and another. So yeah, I'm using After Effects, which is just, I guess it's just special effects for video. It's like using Photoshop on a video editor instead of in Photoshop. So instead of photoshopping in a picture, you're photoshopping a timeline of video, and it's pretty neat. I really like it.
Have you started doing the cameras yet in there?
I guess not. I've only watched one tutorial from this girl. I don't think she works for Adobe, but you know how some of these people are just like brand loyal. Like it's hard to tell if they're actually part of the team or if they just love the brand so much.
Right.
I think she's like that, but I've only watched like a bunch of her videos. She doesn't really get into private stuff. She's really good though. Like a 10-minute video will be 9.5 minutes of just info. She'll say the beginning, she'll say the obligatory end stuff, but she's just screen sharing and going pretty quick. So I've just watched a couple of hers, like what can Adobe or what can After Effects do, and then like let's say you have some words and then a boat flows in front of them. She has like a video on how to cut the boat out so that the boat goes in front of the words, but the sky is still behind the words. Like, so you can make words look like they're between 2 things in your video, like put a title or something. I watched one on like how to make your hand catch on fire. Just, how to basically, so you're taking a video of your hand or a video of a boat, and then you're taking another video of some words or a video of some fire, and it just shows you how to like create little anchors and little things, and you can attach the 2 videos basically to each other, and then kind of mix them how you want. And then what the end result is basically every movie you've ever seen is made in After Effects. I think like every special effect in a movie is probably made on that kind of stuff.
A ton.
So,
yeah.
So it's limitless. So I've only really scratched the surface, but mainly it's just, it's like with Adobe, or I don't know if you have tackled a new piece of Adobe lately, but I don't know if the last couple of years I've been tackling Adobe products. And you basically just have to learn their damn toolbar. Once you know their toolbar and what they can do, it's just a matter of being creative. But it's just really getting into it, figuring out what it can do, so I know what I want to tell it to do, so that I can actually be realistic about what I want out of it. So now I'm basically got my bearings, I guess. And I did, I don't know if I saw a thing for Gary and for Sarge.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
So that's just taking a video of the sewing machine doing its thing, and then masking out the foot or whatever it's called that goes up and down, and then like the needle, and then taking a picture and sticking it there. So it's really a movie, but it's not. And that was just an effort to, or what do they call it, like an exercise in how to work the tools and stuff. So I've played with it a little bit, but I pretty much have an idea what it can do now. Now it's just a matter of figuring out what I want the show to look like, and then how many transitions I need, and then building them, and then I'll never use After Effects again, probably. Or at least, I'm not like a nerd where I'm like looking for excuses to use it. I'm too cheap to pay people. And it's like, once you know how to use something, then never have to pay somebody to do it again. You can just add that to your list of skills or whatever.
That's exactly how I got into After Effects, and now I'm kind of a nerd about it, and I try to like make things for fun because I think it's like super fucking cool.
All right, yeah. Well, anytime you want to dig into After Effects, I'm down, because I've only barely seen what it can do. I know that I simply need to know what it can do to understand how much I can do with it. You know what I mean? Like I only had a couple of ideas and I figured those out. So now it's just a matter of being shown things that are interesting.
Remember the intentionally left blank intro? I did that in After Effects. That was all After Effects.
No, I don't remember. You have it somewhere?
I think it's on the Instagram.
That's too hard to find. Or wait, maybe I can.
It has music too. Like
every time I go somewhere, I find out that I'm not logged in, and then it takes me an hour to. Yeah, I'm not logged into Instagram. So I have to see if I can.
That's a joy of a new computer, right?
Yeah.
In like 6 months, it'll stop happening.
It's also an opportunity to leave a lot of shit behind, right? So hopefully, which video should I play? Which one will have it?
It is. I think it's like one of the first ones.
Oh, it says right here, show intro.
Oh yeah, show intro. There it is.
Oh, I figured you just went somewhere and bought a thing or something. So you made this all.
Oh yeah, so there's so many aspects to this. So one of the things, and like it's my favorite part, is if you look at it closely, it's like jiggling very slightly to mimic a shitty old tube TV.
Uh-huh.
So like, that's all in the playing with all the settings and all that in After Effects. And then like the glow I thought was super cool, and it's building out, and everything's timed with the clocks, and then the bar glowing and all that. But yeah, that was the little jiggle and the like the fuzz. That was my like, yeah, I nailed it. That little movie that was like 5 seconds took me like 5 hours.
Well, that's the thing. It took me like a good length. I mean, I don't even know. It took me a long time. I don't even want to talk about it because it took forever for me to figure out that like that whole giant timeline in there is pointless, because you're only dealing with like 15 seconds at the most in After Effects. So I kept trying to get it to open up like a video player and show me the whole video, and it wouldn't. And I was fighting that for a long, long time until I figured out, oh, wait a minute. You just can only look at like about 3 seconds of a video ever. You just got to move your video back and forth underneath that 3 seconds, basically. And you can go into that 3 seconds and look at every single keyframe.
Yep.
But that's because special effects and stuff have to happen like that. But it can do crazy stuff. Yeah, it can. Oh, I guess I did watch a bunch of tutorials on, like, let's say you're taking a video of something and like somebody walks out in front of you, or there's a big logo or something there you don't want. You can get rid of it, like how to erase stuff on live video. Or
yeah,
not live, how to erase stuff on video.
That's the coolest shit it does, I think.
And that's where now it's like, okay, I know the skills, but I don't want to sit here for like 3 weeks playing with it. I need to just try to figure out what I need to get accomplished. And then the other side is now I have access to a lot of my old files, at least a lot quicker. And I got to figure out what files I even want to use out of the pile to, be the pieces, the blocks for all these different things.
Yeah, it's pretty, once you like dig into it, I mean, it's like super powerful. And then you mix it with Premiere and all that other stuff. I mean, the Adobe suite is freaking awesome.
It really is. And with a computer that can run it, it's even better.
Oh, yeah.
You feel like Adobe, and I don't even mind, like people hate Adobe or whatever, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like if you want to use Adobe and you kind of let them know you really want to use it and you're poor, they will let you use it. I mean, there's ways you can get Adobe. They're more than willing to charge somebody full price, which I guess depends on how much you're making and what you produce out of it. But if that's worth it or not. But it bugs me when software is, because I've worked with a couple of software things that aren't Adobe. They're not at that level. They're not household names or anything, but they were good. And they just wouldn't work with me at all. And I'm like, I'm not making money off this stuff. I just want to use your stuff. And I can tell a lot of people about it. I mean, that's got to be worth something. But if you don't want me using your tools, I guess I'll go build something with something else. And they work with me. I'll tell people about it. So I end up blagging about Adobe all the time. I don't love the idea that I'm paying for it, but I think I'm paying $30 a month where, they would easily charge you 60 or more or something like that if you didn't bug them about it, and you can bug them about it. So if anybody is interested in using Adobe and doesn't know what we're talking about, I guess either watch an old show or ask us individually and we'll tell you. But for the most part, you just kind of tell Adobe you're leaving and they'll say, oh, wait, no, don't leave. And they'll give it to you at a much lower rate. And that's not something that a rich person would care. So who cares? Let them charge full price. They don't care. It doesn't dent their wallet. Adobe's happy. But for those of us that could use an extra $20 a month, they make it possible for us to use their software. And it's amazing software. It is seriously fun to play with software. It makes
there's so much. They also put it on sale all the time. So like you just wait like a week and they're like, oh, 60% off again.
Oh, I didn't realize that. But like I said, I've got it at a price that I'm okay with. $30 a month is okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with what I pay on it. I mean, I think it's super worth it. Even I use it for my business constantly. I live in Illustrator. I use Photoshop a little bit now, not as much as Illustrator. After Effects, I love it. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm like interested in getting into that I don't use, but at least I have the option to use it.
I don't even have Photoshop installed. I don't use it for anything. I don't even remember the last time I opened a Photoshop. It's not installed on my old computer either. I haven't found anything that I've needed to do in years that I couldn't do in Illustrator since I've learned it. You helped me learn it a lot, but I mean, I don't know why people would use it. I guess I understand why people use Photoshop, but I mean, I just do not care if the color balance and the gamma, blah, blah, blah of my whites, whatever the hell Photoshop does, better than Illustrator.
Right. All the rest.
I guess. I don't even know because like I said, I don't use it, but I know what I can get out of Illustrator. And I've never gone like, oh, I wish my gamma correction was better, or I wish my pixels were smaller. I don't know what Photoshop does differently. Anyway.
I mean, a lot of photographers use it. I use it like I said, super, super rarely, like maybe once a month. But I mean, yeah, Illustrator. A lot of people think Photoshop is like the premier graphics program, but it's really Illustrator.
Well, now we've been roundabout, and we still got 8 people watching, so nobody's coming over to check it out. And Angelina can chat off air, so if nobody's going to say nothing, we can get more accomplished chatting off air than we can everybody listening.
All the secrets.
Yeah. So you said you wanted to chat about something with that plastic. Is that off-air stuff, or?
I don't know. I was just curious as to like the process, but it's up to you if it's on air or off air. I don't care.
Well, there's no process. I mean, I'm just playing right now, trying to understand what the materials can do and what they can't do and what's too fine or what's too expecting too much. So I took that robot and cut a AK-47 looking thing for that video I posted on Instagram. At least I thought DM is saying he's just checking in before he clocks in for work. Night shift, I guess. So I posted a video of one of the plastic things I got over in the Gear website store when I was pulling it out of its mold. So the robot, I used the robot to cut out a piece of wood, I think. I remember now. I think it was a piece of wood. No, it was a piece of wood. And then I cut it out and it was bad. Like the design was bad, and I didn't calculate like the width of the little cutter round. The cutter's round and it has a dimension, and I didn't factor that in. So when the piece I cut out, I was looking at it, it was all wrong. Like the front sight was too narrow and the mag well was too narrow. It just looked wrong. It kind of looked like an AK, but it was not an AK. And then the recess that it left, though, was pretty decent proportions for whatever reason, like the cavity or whatever that was left in the thing when I cut the piece out.
Oh, okay.
So what I did is I ended up pouring plastic into the cavity and then making a part out of that recess. So making a plastic part out of the recess. And that accomplished two things. I wanted to see how good the robot cuts, because it cuts, a little bit down each time. It cuts in layers. So the end result can be steps if the thing isn't perfect. I wanted to see if the edges would be stepped or if they'd be straight, and if it was possible. So I poured plastic in there, came out with a plastic AK thing, and that was pointless. It was just a part. It was just a thing that looked kind of like an AK, but it was not that detailed. So I didn't know what to do with it. But then I figured out if I made a rubber mold of it, I could then make clear versions of it, with that mold. And that's what you see me taking out of there is an experiment with making a clear version of the plastic part that I had made. And again, just kind of playing with materials with, that was an inexpensive silicone that I was trying, kind of experimenting with for doing stuff low cost, especially when you're just playing. If you don't have like an end result that you know what you're doing and you've used the materials before and you're just making something, then you go buy nice materials and make it. I was just playing. So I was trying to do it with as cheap as materials as possible and whatnot. So that's really just a video to show like the plastic coming out of the mold for the first time, where it's actually still kind of, I think it's more in there with like suction and just like the grip, the texture is gripped onto the rubber so tight, more than like actually adhesion, because the silicone doesn't actually stick to the plastic, I guess. But it kind of comes out and it kind of made that noise and shit. I figured people might dig that. But yeah, it was just, I just wanted to post something that wasn't a fun picture, but was, something. Just playing, looking through my videos and saw that one was 40 seconds, so it would fit on Instagram.
So when you put the round in there, do you have to like weigh it down, or it just like sinks in there and then it's level, or was it sticking out?
Well, you can't pour that stuff all at once anyway. So if I, the size of that part wasn't that thick, it's like as thick as my finger or something. So it's not like it's huge or anything. But if I were to pour that all at once, it would get a lot of heat, because it doesn't create heat when you mix it, but it creates heat as it cures. So if you pour too much volume of that plastic in anything or at any time, it will start to cook off and you'll get like weird bubbles, and it just can't. It's not the way the material works. So the way you make something like that is you have your cavity or your mold or whatever, you pour a layer, and you only pour, you've seen like tables that have like bottle caps or something on them.
Yeah.
Like, that they've done that in restaurants where they put like a layer of plastic on the top of the table.
Right.
That probably even if you've seen one that was just like stamps or stickers or something and it just has a thin layer, that's probably still like 3 layers, like 3 times that they poured it on there, let it dry, poured some more on, let it dry. So in a mold like that one, you got to pour that like probably 8 times. Like there's a whole bunch of layers. So basically you just pour a layer or 2, and then once you're about to pour the 3rd layer is when you put in whatever you're going to put in. And then you only maybe pour in till like halfway up the thing. So it probably took 3 pours to even cover whatever the round was in this case. But if it was like a spider or scorpion, you never really. I mean, in commercials, sometimes they'll make it look like you just fill the thing up, but you can't. It would cook the thing inside of it. Like literally, it would create so much heat that it would probably, like if you put an egg in the middle of that, it would probably cook the egg. I think people have done videos on that, like how big a container you need to cook the egg inside of the plastic.
Oh, shit.
But it also just ruins it. It comes out all cloudy and shitty, and it warps. That's the other thing. When it's hot inside of a mold, it has no reason to stay there. It just starts to wiggle around on its own and get like a shrinky dink or something. It just wiggles around in your mold and comes out as just a mess. So yeah, so it's actually just part of you could put anything in there because it's going to take you hours and hours and hours to make one.
How long do you have to wait between the layers?
Huh?
How long do you have to wait between the layers?
8 hours. It takes days and days and days to make one because you have to mix the stuff. The stuff only lasts for a while and it hardens. So you can't mix all your stuff. You can only mix a little bit at a time. And then you pour some, you wait 8 hours or 6 hours. Kind of depends on the weather and the thickness and a bunch of stuff. But hours, half a day. It takes days and days and days just to complete one.
Do you do the pressure pot thing?
It just kind of depends. Yes and no. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. On those, it did not. But you can tell. There's bubbles in some of them and stuff. So you can vacuum and you can pressure. You can vacuum to pull bubbles out, and then it'll settle and be bubbleless. Or if that's not an option or whatever, you need volume. You need space for it to do that. To vacuum, you need like a lot of room because if you ever like vacuumed a marshmallow or seen somebody vacuum a marshmallow like it's all big, that's what happens with the fluid. So if you've got rubber or plastic or whatever in there and you pull all the bubbles out, it'll expand to like 10 times its size. And then when all the bubbles are out, it'll fall down to be like 2/3 of what it started as. But you need all that room in your vacuum chamber. So most people don't have it. So instead they'll just pour and then put it in a pressure chamber, and then just smash it into the mold. So now you have to pour a little bit more and have a little extra room for the pour to seep into the mold. But you're not removing any bubbles. You're just smashing the bubbles so small that we can see them, I guess.
Have you done any of the color powders and stuff in there?
Not with this current batch. In the past, I had.
I think I have a bunch of the color powders because I got some of that Illuminite stuff, but I didn't use it fast enough. So it went bad. So now I just have a bunch of fucking colors.
Oh, okay. The tints for it. Well, definitely. If you don't want those, I'd do something for those because you can use things. Like I've watched videos where people just use food coloring and stuff, and depends on the thing. But for something clear, I wouldn't want to like experiment. Like if it's white plastic and I'm trying to make it red, yeah, I'll use paint or something, see what happens, because who cares? The worst it does is it's not perfect color or something. But if it's clear and you screw it up, you just waste it. It costs more because that plastic costs more than regular white plastic.
Yeah,
and it takes forever. And so you're gonna waste like days doing messing it up, and then it'll immediately look horrible.
I have like a set of glow. It's all different colors of glow, and then one that looks like pearly.
Oh, see, I haven't played with the glows yet either. I'm curious because glows need whatever it is, UV, and I don't know if the plastic's gonna block UV. It's possible you put it in there and you've just encased it from ever glowing again. That's my fear.
I saw when I got them, I saw like examples, and it looked pretty cool because I wanted to do like cut things on the robot and then fill it with the acrylic. But yeah,
I haven't even played with that yet, but that's definitely a thing. I mean, people do whole giant businesses with that, like just doing stuff like that.
Yeah, like all that stuff.
All right, well, we gave it an effort. We got 9 people watching. Nobody said anything. Let me turn on timestamps here. Toggle timestamps. 10:50, and it is now 11. So nobody's even said anything since Faust said that he was. I guess it's not Faust, but it sounds like when you're going to say Danger Mouse, you want to say DM Faust. I guess it's Foss. But anyway, Ginger Mouse said he was going into work. It was 10 minutes ago. We haven't heard nothing since. Everybody else is quirking us, so we're just going to go off air. So thanks, everybody, for joining us and spending an hour. If you are one of the people that purchased something over at the store today, I should say this afternoon, because everything before noon my time went out in the mail already. But a couple people purchased things afternoon, and more than welcome to pick your patch. I want to say Mark, thank you very much, Mark out there, and otherwise we'll be back on Monday. And like I was saying, hopefully I'll be. I don't want to guarantee nothing. The Daily Gun Show is not my number one priority. With the end of the year happening here, I've got to do want to try to get the almanac kicked out. I'm going to talk to Angelina a little bit about that when we get off air here, because she's printing it for me. And there's a couple other projects that are pinned to the end of the year that I got to worry about. So I'll have to kind of look what this email says. Okay, good. So, sorry, I distracted. There's replying to an email over here, or I got a reply to my email. Anyway, so I've got a couple of things I'll be working on. Then the Daily Gun Show will come back on to a priority, but it'll be a priority in 2020 for sure. Using these After Effects and some other techniques, I'm open to create the show that I've been wanting for a while. We'll see how it goes, and more than interested to hear what people have as far as comments and suggestions. If you want, reach us over on Patreon, reach us over on Gun Channels. Angelina, what do you've got coming up? Anything going on? You got one thing happening this weekend for sure. Anything else though?
Nope, not really. Just watch Instagram for some fun stuff. Oh, actually, there's a new page that I posted on there. So if you see a post about a new Instagram page, check that out.
And that is the Patch Club.
Yeah, I think it's Patch Club Official.
So if you go in there and type in Patch Club into stupid Instagram, do you have any idea how many Patch Clubs there are?
Oh, probably a ton.
Yeah, I didn't have any idea. There was a bunch though. So I didn't know which one's yours. So I was looking for it on my other account or something. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to go back to my other account and actually find the link now.
Yeah, no, this one is Patch Club Official, all one word.
So that's that. But I was thinking of the glowy thing. So if you like glowy stuff, go check out the Instagrams, and there might be something for you on Sunday. And otherwise, you can go get stuff at allananchor.com.
Yep.
Right on. Well, thanks for jumping in, and thanks everybody for joining us. We'll be back Monday.